Welcome, and thank you all for joining us for the Venture Accelerator's Fall Showcase. I'm excited to see the presentations a little later in the program. The past 19 months have been challenging, but startups have proved to be a bright spot in the economy. Tonight, you'll hear from startup founders who have kept going despite the challenges, demonstrating their ability to be nimble and adapt to changing conditions. That sort of adaptability is at the heart of successful entrepreneurship, and it's at the heart of our Price Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. UCLA Anderson has been teaching entrepreneurs and supporting their dreams for almost 50 years. The tenacity, drive, and optimism that entrepreneurs naturally possess are qualities we need now more than ever before, and our students embrace this mindset. You'll hear shortly from Trish Halamandaris, the dynamic director of the Venture Accelerator, and she'll introduce you to the founders who are presenting this evening. They're sure to inspire us all. As Trish has said, during the last 19 months or so, one consistently positive note has been the Accelerator and its annual program, with its incredible 85% success rate for graduating companies. The numbers for our early stage accelerator, known as Accelerate, are impressive. 2 acquisitions, $144 million raised in venture capital, and $43 million in revenue across 73 companies. Throughout the pandemic, the Accelerator and its staff were in full operational mode, even adding a summer incubator program, Activate, that supported 92 founders over the past 2 summers. The Accelerator supports founders at the graduate level from across the entire UCLA campus, as well as Anderson alumni and even founders we think can help from the LA startup ecosystem. The Accelerator offers extensive, immersive resources to founders who connect UCLA Anderson to the community, to prospective students, to alumni, and current students. You've heard it before, but it really does take a village. Why do we support such an effort? Part of what we do at UCLA Anderson is to prepare our students for the private sector, and at a level where they can not only compete, but excel. The Accelerator offers part of the solution by giving the founders practical know-how that complements their theoretical classroom-based learning. Last year alone, 300 students from across our MBA programs enrolled in the business creation option to fulfill their master's thesis requirement. UCLA Anderson continues to be a leader in teaching entrepreneurship in higher education, and you'll sample part of this success tonight. I'm very proud to lead this institution and could not be more grateful for the role that each of you plays at UCLA Anderson. Thank you for your support of the school. Your contributions will help us flourish today and in the future. Now to my colleague, Al Osborne, the founder and faculty director of the Price Center. Al?
Thank you, Tony. And let me add my personal welcome to yours, and to really thank the presenting teams and the UCLA community that have supported in so many ways what this experience and what this showcase is all about. This is the 6th showcase, and I'm honored to have you here with us. But you know, events like this just don't happen. It took a lot of entrepreneurial vision actually to create the Accelerator, and I'm particularly grateful to those who participated in that initial enterprise. Elaine Hagan, Executive Director of the Price Center, and I worked with Bill Grabe and the Rosenfeld Library and Jim Friedman to help provide some of the initial resources to help make this vision an actual reality. We thank them for their continued efforts. And I also think it's important that I give a plug to all of you that your presence here means that you really do support what we're trying to do right here. And to the extent that you have resources, we don't mind asking you to spend some time and perhaps some of your other resources help us build the capital that's necessary to continue this. As you heard from the Dean, we have a teaching and supporting record that spans 50 years in entrepreneurship. It is one of the legacy activities, and the Price Center for Entrepreneurial Studies is honored to carry that on. We believe that the foundation of being able to be in the accelerator or the business creation option or any one of our programs is a strong entrepreneurial competence. We develop those skills here in the Price Center, and it is really part of the foundation of the success of our students. The steward-ups you see all come from a diversity in our community. The entire ecosystem is represented, and tonight you will see several of those companies that incubated in the accelerator. The Anderson Venture Accelerator is an important asset to a school. The students and companies who get to participate wouldn't be able to do so if it wasn't for the rigorous experience that they have, and if it wasn't for the kind of leadership and dedicated commitment that we have in the accelerator. Trish, working with the Entrepreneur Association and the Price Center, and mentors and staff and faculty have been able to create, I believe, a wonderful asset that should yield not just in this showcase, but interesting businesses and business concepts in the months and years to come. I thank you, Trish, and I thank you and your team for your commitment to entrepreneurs. And I'm delighted to turn the program over to you and show us the showcase. Trish, get us started.
Thank you, Dean Bernardo and Dr. Osborne, for your continued support in kicking off our 6th showcase. I always love tonight because it's a culmination of the spirit and effort of early stage founders. Their traction is only made possible by you watching tonight, who have been part of our pro bono effort to help the next generation. We are so lucky to have you part of the UCLA Anderson community. Of particular importance is our support of minority and female founders. Diversity is a core value of Anderson and one that we take seriously. Tonight is no different, with over 50% of the presentations from minority founders. This is also highlighted with venture capital funding, as new data shows that minority founders, unfortunately, garner less than 3% of the funding while outperforming their male counterparts financially. It is time to increase investments made in minority founders to at least 50%. I believe tonight you will see the quality, traction, and financial opportunity of investments in these founders. And like many corporations this past year, we too lost our beloved staff of Janet Chung and Will Freese. Tonight, however, we welcome our refreshed and amazingly talented new team who have been working tirelessly to make this opportunity happen. The new advisory staff for the accelerator includes Beatina Teopold, Fallon Coleman, and Ray Park. And of course, the consistent support and guidance of Elaine Hagan and Jen McMillan, who keep us moving in the right direction. Tonight's presentations are live, not pre-recorded. Because of the university's COVID-19 protocols, everyone in the building is masked, but the speakers are mic'd for clarity. We invite you to use the hashtags on the screen to post about founder pitches that move you. The event starts with this year's cohort companies from both the Accelerator and the Business Creation Program, led by the incomparable Jeff Scheinrock. After the initial presentations, a few select companies who are alumni of the Accelerator will present their highlights on progress and traction. To help you connect with any of the founders tonight, a brochure was included with your final RSVP. It lists the order of presenters and a clickable URL link to the company's websites. Further, the Accelerator advisory staff is listed in the brochure if needed. So now let's get to the reason why you're here tonight, to support the early stage founders. First up is Emily Smith, a current Anderson MBA, presenting her company, nuFYX. Emily, let's do this.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Smith, founder and CEO of nuFYX. We are a plant-based nutrition company that revolutionized protein powder. Proteins are the building blocks of life. Every cell in the human body contains protein. The basic structure of protein is a chain of amino acids. You need protein in your diet to help your body repair cells and make new ones. Essential amino acids cannot be made by the body and must be supplied by food. As we shift away from animal proteins, we need to fill that void with quality plant protein. I discovered how difficult this was when searching for plant-based protein powder that I could add to my recipes. I remember being at my friend's lake house making oats for breakfast and adding in a scoop of their organic vega protein, the most expensive at grocery stores. I took one bite and lost my appetite. I forced myself to take a few more bites, then gave up. The protein ruined the taste of my blueberry oats and gave it a chalky sand-like texture. I felt bloated shortly after and couldn't understand how my friend would consume this. The response was that it was just necessary, like medicine. I started to question what was inside and where the protein source came from. My research concluded that the peas in my oats could come from 47 different countries. I was also shocked to learn the results of the Clean Label Project study that reviewed 134 top-selling protein powders according to Nielsen and Amazon. 75% of the protein powders had elevated levels of lead and 55% had elevated levels of BPA. The study concluded that the issue lies in the contaminated soil in which the ingredients are grown and the traditional plastic tub packaging. I learned I wasn't alone in my search for a solution as I asked family, friends, and coworkers for suggestions and was still at a loss. When the pandemic hit and health became top of mind for consumers, I still hadn't found a solution and decided it was time to create a nutrition company that would innovate. In June, nuFYX launched 3 delicious flavors of heavenly protein powder. Our domestic pea sourcing benefits the body and the planet. Purchasing 1 bag of heavenly protein powder reduces CO2 emissions equivalent to driving from LA to Austin compared to purchasing powder made from imported peas. It is certified organic, gluten-free, vegan, keto, and insanely delicious. We use a minimal list of clean, functional ingredients. Beyond using it in just a shake, we've inspired our community to cook and bake. Say goodbye to taking down protein powder like medicine and say hello to savoring each sip and bite. You may be looking at this chart wondering if ours is that much better. And the answer is yes, the iPhone is that much better than a BlackBerry. nuFYX is paving the way and redefining plant protein with heavenly protein powder, just as Apple did with the iPhone. We created a clean, delicious protein that is easy to digest and is versatile. We use a patented digestive enzyme blend, Aminogen. It helps you break down, digest, and absorb the protein. It has changed the lives of our consumers who were never able to digest protein powder before because of the bloating. Fueled by prioritization, health, and wellness, the natural and organics products industry saw record growth in 2020, increasing to reach $259 billion and is on pace to surpass $300 billion in the next 2 years. With our existing powder business and future product launches, we can capture a substantial market share by providing better options for products within existing markets. nuFYX is gaining fast traction. Since launching this summer, we are already on the shelves at 41 stores and growing weekly as grocers reach out to carry our line. We're the #1 selling plant protein at Erewhon, LA's most premium grocery chain. Since launching only a few months ago in June, our revenue hit $150,000 at a 60% gross margin, and we haven't raised any outside capital. As we open more retail doors and invest in digital marketing, our monthly sales are expected to experience triple-digit growth. We're in talks with Whole Foods now to launch the Southern Pacific region with 56 stores. What makes my journey as an entrepreneur most rewarding is the community we built, the FYX fam. We are introducing an app in the new year to retain and grow our FYX fam with exclusive perks. Next quarter, we are launching our financial raise, seeking strategic investors who believe in our mission to revolutionize plant protein with powder and more. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Glenn Meyerowitz. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SAFR and a proud Bruin. I'm excited to talk to you about SAFR, a novel medical device that provides personalized and precision lung therapy to patients receiving mechanical ventilation that reduces time in the ICU by greater than 10% and lowers mortality. Mechanical ventilation is a frequent topic in the news. Ventilation is a life-sustaining tool used for nearly 20 million patients every year in the United States. Despite this, the standard of care for mechanical ventilation is over 20 years old. The lack of personalization of lung therapy increases lung injury, leads to longer patient time on a ventilator, and causes higher rates of complications, including mortality of up to 44% for some diseases. In a normal, healthy patient, air is divided evenly to the left and right lungs when they breathe. However, some patients develop asymmetric or unilateral lung injury. In these patients, lung injury causes an uneven distribution of gas. This can cause ineffective treatment and dangerous pressures inside the lungs. This results in longer hospital stays, increased rates of complications, and death. SAFR is the first and only device that monitors and corrects for this injury. Patients who use SAFR will again be able to breathe in a symmetric way that minimizes the risk of injury. For the 1.3 million Americans who suffer from acute respiratory failure each year, SAFR represents a new standard of care. We estimate a total addressable market for personalized lung therapy at $4.5 billion, growing at an annual rate of 16%. This analysis is based on the total number of procedures and the unit sale price of our device. The initial indication of use in critical care settings provides a market of greater than $900 million. Expansion of indication over time will allow the obtainable market to grow in the years following launch. The field of respiratory support includes devices across multiple product classes. Ventilators push gas into a patient's lungs for gas transfer. Extracorporeal gas transfer devices such as ECMO pull blood out of a patient's body. ECMO is expensive and associated with higher rates of complications. Incumbents dominate these fields, with the largest 3 companies controlling over 75% of the market share, thus stifling innovation. SAFR allows for dramatically lower costs with decreased rates of procedural complications. So what exactly is SAFR? SAFR is a patented novel platform that delivers personalized and precision lung therapy for patients requiring invasive mechanical ventilation, utilizing novel real-time monitoring and machine learning. But beyond these buzzwords, personalized means that we monitor the injury of patient lungs and individualize care. Precision means we can target gas flow to exactly where it needs to be to provide the greatest benefit. SAFR targets therapy to regions of the lungs to improve patient outcomes while reducing time in the ICU by more than 10% and reducing mortality. And here you can see an early prototype of our device. By decreasing time in the ICU, we offer an estimated savings of $6 million a year for a 500-bed hospital, such as Ronald Reagan here at UCLA Health. Our device will be reimbursed as part of existing payments under DRG codes. SAFR allows hospitals to keep those same DRG codes, thus maintaining constant revenues while reducing costs. We'll contract with an ISO 13485 certified manufacturer to produce our devices. Our financial projections show that we'll be EBITDA positive by year 3 after FDA clearance, with a strong ratio of EBITDA to net revenue by year 5. Through frequent device testing in partnership with a simulation center at UCLA, we plan to be ready for product launch within 36 months. We're looking to perform in vivo testing by early 2022 and look for FDA clearance by 2023, seeking 510(k) clearance with breakthrough device designation. SAFR is led by our interdisciplinary group of healthcare technology leaders across medicine, engineering, business development, and strategy, with a combined decade of experience in bringing novel medical devices to market. SAFR has clinical and strategic advisors from leading academic medical centers, including UCLA Health, the number 3 hospital system in the United States. We're looking to raise $1 million in seed funding to advance the technology readiness level of our device. And this funding will go towards both engineering as well as preclinical studies to demonstrate our value proposition. We're actively looking to hire additional qualified staff and expand our advisory board. I appreciate the opportunity to present to you all today. Thank you for the time, and please feel free to reach out over email with any questions you may have.
75% of millennial homebuyers feel overwhelmed, and they might be feeling that way for a number of reasons. But for starters, I'm a graduate student of business, and I don't recall one course where we learned about the mortgage process, property taxes, or other relevant home buying concepts. Hi, everyone. My name is Ruffin, and I'm the founder and CEO of Balsa. Balsa is a digital community educating future homeowners and connecting them to local real estate professionals, so you can buy a home with more confidence and less confusion. As I'm sure you could probably guess, Google is the first place most prospective buyers land when they're looking for more information on the buying process. Last year, in fact, searches for how to buy a home jumped 950%. But with so many complexities to the buying process and little background in real estate, most first-time homebuyers end up lost and confused in this crazy rabbit hole of Google searches. For those that don't just give up at that point, their next move is often to connect with a realtor or loan officer for more guidance. But here's the thing. Real estate professionals are busy getting deals done. Their core focus is just not on educating the client. So things often get brushed over, and in worst case scenarios, uneducated buyers could be misled. When I bought my first home, I had what I like to call a cheat code. My mom, founder and CEO of a residential firm in Charlotte, North Carolina, always a phone call or a text away, really coached me throughout my entire first-time homeowner experience. So I created Balsa to share that very cheat code with other first-time homebuyers just like me. Our virtual real estate classes like Intro to Home Buying and Intro to Mortgage Finance really prepare first-time buyers with the fundamentals. Our classes are led by Balsa coaches who in their day-to-day are industry professionals like realtors and loan officers. Our digital community creates a safe space for first-time buyers to ask questions and seek advice. And finally, our agent match service introduces first-time buyers to our network of vetted, high-quality real estate professionals in their communities. Balsa truly is a win-win solution for both sides of our marketplace. First-time buyers feel more confident and much less stressed during this super important financial step. And real estate professionals benefit from a much more seamless buying process. So we charge our home buyers $55 per virtual real estate class, just like you would pay $25 to $30 to attend a local fitness class. Our average first-time homebuyer will join our 3 core classes. Creating a community of paying homebuyers allows us to keep our quality of leads high and our real estate agents happy, justifying our 25% commission split. Now you might be thinking, 25% commission split, that seems really high. But we've actually established a partnership with LRE, leading real estate companies of the world. And within that network, it's standard practice to refer out at this commission split. So to reach those first-time buyers nationwide, we're focusing on the 4 strategies to the left. So far, organic content creation has been highly effective in creating a trustworthy and approachable brand. To reach agents, we're taking a much more narrow approach, really focusing on working with top agents and leaning in to that LRE network. This is a massive market. In 2021, 2.4 million Americans will become first-time homebuyers, standing to earn real estate agents $39 billion in commission. So yes, there are a number of players in this space already providing real estate education and information online today. But Balsa's community-focused brand is relating and engaging the millennial first-time homebuyer in a different and much more meaningful way. And we're seeing that unfold in our beta community. In month 1, we had over 240 signups for our first beta classes, and we have real estate professionals that are eager and excited to be the very first Balsa coaches. As founder, I'm bringing past experience from an Andreessen Horowitz-backed prop tech, and I have a team of advisors with combined senior level experience and networks in residential, prop tech, and fintech. Over the next quarter, our team is focusing on developing the course content, bringing on more Balsa coaches, and launching our digital web-based platform. Early next year, we'll be looking for strategic investors to fund our first round of capital, but we're excited for the opportunity to start networking with you now. So if you want to be part of a team making moves in financial inclusion, specifically as that relates to real estate, we would love to meet you. Please check out our website, balsaonhome.com, for any and all updates, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or reach me via email, ruffin@balsaonhome.com.
Hi, I'm Warren, the CMO of Sunga Life. We're an online athletic apparel brand that landed at the perfect time. If there's anything positive the pandemic brought, it was that people started going outside, they started working out, and they started to buy a lot of clothes online. Currently, our goal isn't to raise capital, but it's to grow the team. Right now, we've got 2 main operators, a few dozen contractors, and we're looking for a third. This is Jeff. He's the founder of Sunga Life, and he served as a Navy SEAL for just over a decade. While on the teams, he spent extensive time down in Brazil, training combatives with the Gracie family. While he was down in South America, he adapted the local hobby of going to the beach in a Sunga. This is me. Before Sunga Life, I ran a company that did high-end casino parties all throughout Southern California. In 2019, we peaked at doing 500 parties in 1 year. And though I loved running my business and doing fabulous events, in the spring of 2020, that party came to a little bit of an end. So what is a Sunga? Sunga is the Portuguese word for swimming trunks, and they're popular all over the world and only growing in popularity here in the US. At its core, a Sunga represents fun and freedom, because if you're wearing a Sunga, you're probably doing something that you absolutely love. The company's grown from beyond the first product, which was the Sunga, to other athletic and apparel options and athleisure options. The #1 product right now is the Sunga Life Silkies. Silkies are inspired from military training shorts, and they're great for swimming, surfing, really great for working out, and also great for just lounging around the house and looking awesome. So the brand's positioning is aiming to be in between the MMA world, the surfing and beach life, and the gym and CrossFit world. We know that a lot of gym brands are something that someone's not going to wear to the beach, and a lot of beach brands is something someone's not going to wear to the gym. On top of that, we think that the MMA space is probably the best opportunity for a young and growing brand, because there's not a specific lifestyle brand that takes over the whole market. The MMA equipment industry alone is at about $250 million. Now, compare that with the surfing industry, which is at $2 billion, with about 600 million of that 2 billion just being apparel. We know that a lot of people who buy Quicksilver or buy Billabong, they don't actually surf, but they just love the idea that the lifestyle of surfing brings. On top of that, the gym industry, of course, is huge at over $1/3 trillion. But with MMA, of all these brands that you see on the screen, you probably recognize the ones in the gym category, the surfing category more, and maybe even own a few. With MMA, this sport is growing in popularity, and there's no current lifestyle brand that represents MMA that people might want to buy into. And we think Sunga Life could land at a perfect spot, because we bring the good vibes and the positivity from the beach, the authenticity of the MMA, and the mass appeal of the gym space. What I thought was really interesting is that with MMA, there's not that many people that is that different from surfing. About 2.5 million people train regularly with MMA, with 2.9 million surfers. The only difference is that people are training jiu-jitsu all throughout the country. There's no geography limit. It's becoming more accepted and more popular, much, much faster than surfing. So on top of having an authentic story and great products, we aim to do marketing a little bit different by promoting partners events. So what we do is link up with people who are doing amazing events that are relevant to our audience, promote their events, which will engage with our customers. Our customers may attend, they may not, but they're at least aware of the things that are going on in the world. From the event that we participate in, we gain that content and remarket it to an audience of people who may be customers and maybe not, and then continue to grow our story on our brand. What's great is that there's no shortage of people who want to partner with Sunga Life. And we add value to them by promoting them, and they add value to us by creating content and being in line with our values. Having a background in the Navy SEAL from Jeff, the founder, there's a big emphasis on service and giving back. What's cool about these partner organizations is they're already doing amazing things, from saving the coral reef to helping adaptive athletes get on skis and wakeboards, and also swimming across the Hudson River for charity. We've got loyal customers and they look fantastic, and there's no shortage of user-generated content that is constantly coming into us. Of all the loyal customers, they love the story, they love the brand, but the number one reason that 25% of our purchases are from repeat customers, they told us, was the quality of the products. Great quality products, a great story, and authentic brand has really done well for us over the past few years. Right now, our marketing goal is to grow the email list, grow the SMS list, grow Instagram, grow our Sunga Squad membership, and continue to buy profitable ads and get ready for next spring and summer season. Right now, the website converts at about a 2.44%. We've got a $21 customer acquisition cost, $81 average order value. And we make $20 of profit on every single order. Year to date, we're at about $707,000, aiming for $1 million with November coming up, which we've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, plus we have Veterans Day, which is going to be a huge sale date for us. And then after that, we've got December, we've got Christmas, we've got New Year's, which is the perfect time to buy fresh gym clothes. So the ask right now is we're looking for a COO with entrepreneurial experience or advisors to help with that recruiting. 6 to 18 months from now, we'll revisit the idea of taking on investors that are strategic partners with background in something that's relevant for us. So thank you so much for hearing about the story and about Sunga Life. I hope to talk to you soon.
Did you know that drinking just 2 beers can be just as dehydrating as an hour-long workout? Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Brodsky, Anderson Femba, class of 2023, and I've created a beverage company called DrinkLyte. We make drinks that help you rehydrate after drinking alcohol. Now, the problem is that although many of us know that drinking dehydrates our bodies, very few of us actually do anything about it. At DrinkLyte, we believe that this is because there's no dedicated hydration solution branded for adults to help remind and inform them that they need to rehydrate after drinking. Now, most people either forget or they settle with some life hack like Pedialyte or just a glass of water, and all of these options are simply not effective enough, or they're not convenient because most people don't serve electrolyte drinks at a party or a bar. The solution is DrinkLyte, a dedicated solution to help drinkers rehydrate conveniently and effectively. Our electrolyte beverages were formulated based off the World Health Organization's research in creating the most effective and fastest hydration possible. DrinkLyte is just as effective as an IV drip. And since we are branded and marketed towards nightlife, we can actually sell to places like bars, restaurants, and events because we actually fit there. Therefore, we're making this new healthy habit more accessible to anyone who drinks on any occasion. And the awesome part about us is that even though we're insanely effective, we are made with all natural, simple, everyday ingredients, and you don't have to use DrinkLyte just when you drink. You can use it as a hydration improvement whenever you want. And in order to discuss the magnitude of this business opportunity, I want to take you back to 1965 before Gatorade. Back then, most people knew that working out was dehydrating, but there was no dedicated solution catered to athletes. So athletes at this time just drank water, but then the connection between working out and electrolytes was made. And today we know what happens. Gatorade is the leader in a $23 billion sports drink category. So what does this have to do with us at DrinkLyte? Drinking most often dehydrates more than working out. Gatorade made the connection that when you work out, water isn't good enough. And through proper branding and marketing, distributed this message to the masses of America and not just athletes. DrinkLyte is poised to deliver the same message and product solution to the drinkers of America. DrinkLyte is available in 2 form factors to allow for both easier consumption for the consumer behavior as well as occasion, and also allow for multiple avenues of sale. So our drink mixes are currently available on our e-commerce site, drinklyte.co, and cans are available at select number of bars in Southern California. Now, why now? Timing is everything when it comes to an opportunity like this, and now is the perfect time for DrinkLyte, and here's why. We are experiencing a unique convergence of 3 major trends in the US. 69% of Americans want to improve their health, 73% drink alcohol on a weekly basis, and 80% seek better hydration options. DrinkLyte satisfies all three of these upward market trends. And if we can capitalize on every drinking occasion in the US, it's a $30 billion opportunity, which is huge. But let's just take a look at a segment no one else is looking at, which is bottled water sales at nightlife venues. In the US alone, bars and nightclubs sell over $1.2 billion of bottled water every year. And if we position DrinkLyte as a premium bottled water for this market, that's a $1.2 billion opportunity that is no one else is attempting to capture. Now, our competitive advantage is that we're 3 times more hydrating than water. We have a third of the sugar most sports drinks, and we win in taste tests all over the place. Our business model is to get products in the hands of drinkers everywhere. Our 4-pack envelope of drink mixes are available on our website right now. Our 8-count mix boxes will be launching in retail soon. In our cases, you'll be able to find on-premise like bars, clubs, events. We boast huge margins, between 50 and 87%, and already our e-commerce store has a 60% return customer rate. So in late 2019, that's when we made the can product and tested it heavily. And what we did was obtain 10 on-premise accounts, but we all know what happens next. On-premise was off the table, and shipping cans to customers wasn't cost effective enough. So in 2020, we took the formula, we powderized it so they could be shipped at a low cost, and we capitalized on the rise of drinking at home during the pandemic. In 2021, we joined the accelerator cohort, woohoo, and began gaining online traction, grew a team of 10 people, and now we're planning to fundraise in preparation for heavy sales and marketing initiatives beginning Q1 2022. Now, our team is small but mighty. I'm the founder and CEO, and my business partner of 8 years, Matt, is our head of product development. That's why it's so beautiful. Together, we've worked with over 10 startups as project managers to launch other people's businesses. We also boast an advisory board of 2 awesome beverage experts, founder and CEO of Health Aid Kombucha, Dinah Trout, and former VP of marketing at Rockstar and PBR, Brett Johnson. Not shown here is our awesome team of 8 student interns. Now, we've spent the last 2 years using only my bootstrap savings and earnings to determine what works for this business financially. We pride ourselves on being scrappy and smart, and that's why we're looking for strategic investors to get us to the growth stage for DrinkLyte in 2022. These funds will go to primarily sales, inventory, distribution, and marketing. That's all. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Dr. George Bluck, CEO and co-founder of Surgistream. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and I've been in practice for nearly 10 years. I've curtailed my own practice to under 20 hours a week to focus on this endeavor. Surgistream is a SaaS company that specializes in surgical logistics, including case scheduling and surgical implant delivery. The big problem with surgical logistics is that communication is often disorganized and inefficient. Much like the communication on this slide, traditional methods of organization, such as the whiteboard you see on the right, are still used in this fast-paced industry. This actual whiteboard manages millions of dollars in inventory and represents the current state of the industry in many places where the rubber meets the road. As an insider, I can tell you that the problem of disorganized communication is pervasive within my industry. And it's not only costly due to case delays and cancellations, but also dangerous due to patient safety issues. The status quo is organized chaos. These communication issues also increase burnout amongst physicians and other staff. And it doesn't have to be this way. And finding a solution is something that I'm passionate about. Surgistream solves this problem with real-time communication and scheduling. These screenshots are from our actual platform that has been beta tested for over a year because this is a mission-critical application that can't fail. We have processed over 5,000 cases thus far. It's not only designed to function in concert with existing workflows, but it's also customized for each user type to ensure that the needs of the 3 key stakeholders, all of whom are paying customers, are met. The surgical facilities and their staff, the device manufacturers and the sales reps, as well as the physicians and their clinics and staff. Surgistream is a unique platform that bridges all verticals. This slide reduces the complexities of surgical logistics down to the 3 primary stakeholders that I've discussed. What differentiates Surgistream is that it is the only platform that is designed to bridge all gaps in the communication chain and follow the entire life cycle of a surgical case. An overview of this features list demonstrates how Surgistream connects with all key stakeholders while the competition falls short. Another problem is one of physician engagement. Device manufacturers and academic organizations continue to look for new ways to engage with doctors due to increasing time constraints in the practice of medicine. As Surgistream grows, it will create its own novel marketplace where ads and education can be targeted to the surgeon based on their actual surgical schedule, rather than using a shotgun approach in trade journals or using a generalized digital ad campaign. Ads and education are just in time and case-based. Within orthopedics alone, the market size is substantial. Global sales over $40 billion and over $25 billion within the US market. The $8 billion in sales we will target represents $1 to $2 billion in marketing expenses. Our business model for this complex problem is quite simple. We have core subscription revenue from doctors, vendors, and facilities that is more than adequate for Surgistream to thrive. But it's the subscribers that also create the foundation for this novel marketplace for targeted advertising and educational content, which will also bring in substantial revenue, not only within orthopedics, but other subspecialties as well. Our team has over 50 years of industry experience, including the device manufacturer side, as well as the medical professional side. Our CTO manages our engineering team, which has been with the company since its inception, and he is also an equity partner. We're nearing the end of beta testing. Surgistream was established in June of 2018, and we launched our beta platform in October of 2019. Within the first year, we processed over 3,000 cases, and subsequently this year, we completed the UCLA Anderson Accelerator and have entered into 2 pilot agreements with major device manufacturers representing over $2 billion in annual sales. We've raised over $900,000 and capitalized over $500,000 in the platform. We anticipate end-of-year contract revenue while still within our beta at $50,000 to $100,000, and subsequently we'll transition to our subscription model in 2022, which will generate $10,000 to $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue initially with our cohort. Surgistream is seeking an additional $1 million in pre-seed investment for product development and employee compensation, as well as our sales pilot programs and marketing. Thank you.
Hello, welcome. I'm Laila Proença. I'm the CEO and founder of VetAhead, an ed tech company for veterinary professionals. You know, in my world, CEO stands for creative and visionary and opinionated. I'm so opinionated that I'm not even here tonight for your money. That's right. Put your wallets down. I am not here asking for money. I'm asking for something way more valuable. I'm asking for your time and your knowledge. I just need one person today that can dream as big as I can, that believes on my dream. You see, as a veterinarian, I'm not your average veterinarian. I don't see dogs and cats. I only see zoo med patients. Those are exotic pets like bunnies, rabbits, well, rabbit's a bunny, or turtles and parrots. Those pets, believe it or not, we don't get taught at school how to take care of them. We leave at school without knowing what to do if we get presented with a bunny in our practice. And so this day, I was seeing this bunny that belonged to a couple, and it was a middle-aged couple, and I was the 5th veterinarian that saw that bunny. That bunny had been to 5 other colleagues that really wanted to help, were passionate about it, but they didn't know what to do. They were afraid to hurt that patient because, again, like I told you, we don't get trained in vet school, and the bunnies are zoo med patients, so they didn't know what to do. When the bunny got to me, when they finally found me, it was already too late. That bunny already had a dental disease that was terminal. I had to go back to that couple and deliver the news. That's when I learned that little bunny was the last connection they had to their little daughter that died of cancer a few months before that. That devastated me. You know, if my colleagues, if they knew what to do, if they had access to knowledge, they would be able to help that little bunny, and that wouldn't be happening. And in that moment, I made a vow to always share knowledge. And that was when VetAhead was born. You know, 16% of the households in the United States have exotic pets or zoo-med pets. We're talking about 1 million plus pets. This is a lot of homes that need help for their pets. And they love their pets as much as they love dogs and cats. You see here, they spend virtually the same amount of money on their bunnies, which is a zoo-med pet, that they would spend on a dog or a cat. So we have all these clients out there, all these owners. And then on the other side, on the veterinary market, we have all those veterinary professionals. They are hungry to learn and to be able to provide that service to the owners. To see what I'm saying, it's an easy equation. There's a disconnection there. On one side, we have the owners that really want help and have the finances to support that help. And on the other hand, you have the veterinarians that want to help. We just need a connection. And we are that connection. We are the bridge. You see, we just need to provide veterinarians and veterinary professionals a place to go and learn, a place where they can watch an online course and be able to provide that service with confidence to empower them to help their pets. We have a very simple process. Believe me, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheels here. I already got a model that works outside of the veterinary world, and I just brought it in. So we choose our themes based on market necessities, and our instructors are always specialists, so they know what they're talking about. And then we hire exclusive illustrators to make these illustrations, these medical illustrations that are amazing and really help on the learning process. And then we hire a crew to do a high-end production, and then we edit the videos, and then we add the graphic designs. Honestly, this takes us about 6 months, 40K. We really don't need help for that. We can do that bootstrap. Again, I'm not here for your money.
Some anatomical considerations of the female rabbit. The female rabbit, the uterus is bicornate, and each one of the cornea has one cervix. So you actually have 2 cervix total, and there is no uterine body in the female rabbit. The fallopian tube, which is the isthmus, the ampulla, and the infundibulum, is very long, is very convoluted, friable. It's a deep red. And extends all the way between the cornea and the ovary.
And this is a little piece of one of our courses. This is what I'm talking about. This is a masterclass style for veterinary professionals. Believe it, this is news for the market. We have the first movers advantage because 1, we are niche to zoo-med, and 2, we really change that old webinar model, and instead we included and implemented this beautiful and engaging masterclass approach, which allows people to actually learn veterinary medicine online. And we've done it. We know it works. We proved our model. We already have all this traction. We already have people taking our classes, and better than all, they email us and they message us saying that now they're able to provide care for these patients. And I know I'm not here for your money, but we do need to talk some numbers. And this is where I'm going with all of that. We have all these goals, but my biggest goal is not only sell more courses, but I also want to migrate to a subscription model. And then after that, I want to scale internationally. And that's why I need your help today. And that is my ask. I need mentorship and a strategic advisor. And I believe in this so much that just last week, I quit my full-time job and I'm fully dedicated for Vet Ahead. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mitch. I'm an inclusive product designer, an elite athlete, an MBA, and a former Nike employee. Our startup, Oya Femtech Apparel, is functional fashion for women who sweat. So I'm sure as everyone here has noticed, ever since COVID has started, athleisure has become the next big thing. From celebrities to even your sisters, friends, wives, and daughters, leggings and athleisure are here to stay. In fact, by 2025, the global athleisure market will total to $520 billion because the market has been growing at 26% year over year since the beginning of COVID. Despite the size of the market, though, there's a big problem with women's sweat because sweat leads to bacteria and irritation. I started Oya because I lived in sportswear as an athlete and I was constantly having sweat-related health issues, from chest rashes from too much chest sweat to repeated yeast infections because I lived in leggings and they trapped moisture and did not let the vagina breathe. I had no idea that wearing leggings actually make you 2 times more likely to develop health complications like yeast infections. However, I did know that I was not alone. Last year, women in the US spent over $18 billion. Yes, in the US alone, last year on just the consumer side, spent over $18 billion to address frustrating health complications like yeast infections that Oya can help prevent naturally. Unlike our competitors, we're all about the mesh to ventilate the body and wick and evaporate sweat because ventilated apparel equals healthier women. Our first product was the Oya Goddess legging with innovative crotch gusset technology. Our legging has 3 antimicrobial panels that create airflow and kill bacteria. Our crotch gusset has a removable, reusable insert that absorbs menstrual, sweat, and urinary leaks. The top and bottom of the crotch gusset are also made out of an antimicrobial mesh so vaginas can breathe comfortably without building up sweat or odor like competitor leggings. We've also filed a provisional utility patent with prominent startup firm Fenwick & West. In addition to problems with leggings, millions of women struggle with breast sweat, which leads to issues like chafing and rashes. So we've expanded our collection, and here you can see our first top. We have 4 products available this fall in 2 colors across sizes extra small through extra large. Our leggings are $94 per legging and they come in 2 lengths. We sold out of our first batch of leggings at launch and are now offering 2 line extensions, as you can see here. Short story, customers love Oya. We've sold to over 200 women and we get 5 stars across the board. We also have a 4-month-long waiting list. We'll initially target health-conscious millennial and perimenopausal women who are casual athletes because these women represent big markets with big problems that spend a lot on their feminine health. However, their needs are consistently ignored by competitors, so their willingness to pay is high. Later, as we scale, we will then begin targeting to moms as well. Our niche customer focus is key because we're the first athleisure brand to prioritize feminine health. Again, this spring, we launched the first gynecologist-tested, athlete-approved legging, and we sold out, generating a 12x return on customer acquisition costs in 1 month, as well as a 4-month-long waiting list. We've already raised $100,000 and soft circled $125K for our round. Unlike us, competitor products typically focus on athletic branding or style and fit, not feminine health. For example, when have you heard Nike use the words breast or vagina? What about Lululemon? Never. And this is an opportunity for Oya because we know what our competitors are selling and we're selling a far superior product at a similar price point. Also, we know how to get to our customers efficiently and effectively using keywords like vaginal health in our digital marketing. In fact, our digital marketing funnel results already outperform industry averages with ad click rates that are 6 to 11 times higher than the industry average and buy rates, which are already on par with the industry average. With our Nike Ops experience, we built a supply chain that delivers strong unit economics from launch. In year 1, we anticipate a 71% gross margin and a 43% contribution margin. And we expect these margins to further improve as our business scales and matures. We seek $1 million of investment for activities like manufacturing and marketing, and will generate $1.4 million in revenue by year 1, and $57 million by year 5, given our scalability and rapid growth potential. Our team has the expertise to scale and be successful, as this is my 4th successful company, and below we are joined by 4 accomplished advisors. Again, we need at least 500,000, but we would love 1 million to roll out Oya in the way that we want to. And you can see here some of our projected milestones over the next year, as well as how we'd spend our funds here on the right. Lastly, I'm asking you to invest in Oya in advanced feminine health, because we're already paving the way to support happy, healthy bodies and build this multi-million-dollar company for acquisition in 3 to 5 years. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is John Dalsey, and I'm the co-founder of Nectar Hard Seltzer. While working in the beer industry, I watched the rise of White Claw during its breakout summer in 2019 and the subsequent dogpile that was everybody jumping into the hard seltzer space. I noticed right away that no one was doing anything different. It was the same 4 flavors: grapefruit, black cherry, lime, mango. No one was telling a story and no one was building a brand. This is when I reached out to my best friend, Jeremy Kim from college, who had worked his way up in the music industry, taking artists out of their bedrooms and turning them into multi-million-dollar international touring acts through outside-the-box marketing. 2 weeks later, after talking with a friend in Shanghai and discovering hard seltzer still had not existed in Asian markets, Jeremy called me with the origin of our idea to create the world's first Asian-inspired hard seltzer that we'd break in the US and take overseas. We have the best flavors and flavors that every other brand is ignoring: yuzu, Asian pear, lychee, mandarin. We also have some of the best macros in the industry. 8 months ago, we had 0 sales and 0 customers. Today, we're self-distributed in over 200 stores in California and New York. We're the #1 hard seltzer on TikTok, and we've sold just under $370,000 worth of product in the last 4 months. We did all this as a couple of guys in wigs with a delivery truck. Beyond Jeremy and I's complementary skill sets, him focusing on the marketing and brand side and me focusing on the operations and production side, we've also expanded our team to include 75 years of experience both in the alcohol and marketing world. Our strategy utilizes TikTok and SMS marketing to build demand in new markets so that we know when we have a critical mass of customers needed to enter a market safely. When we expand distribution to a new city, we can then leverage that community that we built to literally drum up lines of hundreds of people to our initial releases, which then translates into easier expansion into other retailers and consistent repeat purchases. Our target demographic is Gen Z millennials, who we are connecting with both in online sales through delivery services such as GoPuff, as well as in retail at Bevmo and Total Wine. We are also working to expand our distribution to more retailers in the coming months. We are currently available throughout California and Manhattan, as well as through delivery to 32 states through e-commerce. We are expanding our distribution footprint in 3 phases across the US over the next 12 months. Beyond marketing and to fuel this expansion, we've locked in our supply chain with supply contracts and the most premier co-packers in North America, which gives us the production capacity to scale upwards of 1.5 million cases by the end of 2022. We are raising $2 million on a $14 million safe, and with these funds, we'll be investing in marketing, both digital and trade, funding, inventory, and expanding our team. I appreciate your time and look forward to hopefully telling you more about the amazing trajectory we've been on. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Sid, co-founder and CEO of Kona, the mental health platform for remote teams. We started the company in October 2019, myself, Andrew, and Kareen, when we were still students at UCLA. And we started by reaching out to 200 plus remote managers and just asking them, what is the hardest part about your job every day? And kept hearing the same thing again and again, which is, I don't know how my team is feeling. And as a result, I can't support them well. Now it's 2021. Emotional well-being is really important at work. In this generation, I'm 21 years old. I don't work at companies, and people my age in my generation don't work at companies where we don't feel cared for and supported. And so companies that care about their people are really the only ones that can be competitive in a global talent marketplace. Enter Kona. So you remember how earlier I was talking about how managers were struggling with identifying how their team is feeling? That's what we've started with. Kona is a Slack integration that asks you how you're feeling every day. It's a really simple red, yellow, green check-in. And so you share something like a color, an emoji, and a little comment. So for example, this is a screenshot of our team's check-in. My co-founder Karine was yellow because she was kind of worried because this was the first thunderstorm she'd heard in LA. Sarah was excited about our OKR meetings. And so it could be work related, it could be not work related. What's going on in your life? And it just so happens that that powers tons of powerful analytics about who's burning out, who's struggling, how is the team doing overall. So as an org leader, you get clear insight into live time. What is the emotional state of my organization and my team overall right now? Kona will flag trends proactively, telling you, hey, Sid on your team is at risk of burning out, or Karine on your team is at risk of leaving the company. So far, people love it and use it every single day. So for the past 3 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, 2021, we've doubled revenue every single quarter. People are using it literally every day with an average of 3.2 check-ins a week. And we've lost literally 1 customer since July 2020, which is when we built the product. We now have over 100 teams using Kona at companies like Greenhouse, Aircall, Thrasio, GoodRx, Coffee Meets Bagel, and tons of the most culture-focused, employee-focused companies in the world. My personal journey and our journey is I did the Anderson Accelerator with Trish and team with a similar company in 2019, pivoted a bunch, started Kona in fall of 2019, got into Techstars in 2020, and then in 2020, we raised $1 million pre-seed round of funding from Kleiner Perkins, Zillow founder Spencer Raskoff, Amazon's #2 exec Jeff Wilkie, a bunch of other investors and executive coaches. And yeah, right now we're not raising, but we're probably going to raise around in Q1 2022. And so if you're interested in talking to me, please reach out. Our mission is that being a good person at work should be mainstream. Crazy, right? And if you want to chat more with me, it's heykona.com or reach out to me at sid@heykona.com. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Taylor Heisley Cook, co-founder of The Herd Co., where we make it possible to make clothes from agricultural waste. Now, when we reach for our favorite shirt, we don't often think about what it's made from. But there are 3 main kinds of fabric used in apparel today: natural fabric like cotton, synthetic fabric like polyester, and man-made cellulosic fabric, or MMC fabric, which is better known by the highlighted names you see in front of you. MMC fabric is actually the fastest growing part of the industry. It's a $25 billion industry today, projected to double by 2025. When people hear MMCF names like viscose, rayon, lyocell, they usually assume they're synthetic, but they're actually made from trees. Over 200 million trees are logged every year and processed into feedstock pulp, which then goes on its journey through the supply chain to become clothes. At The Herd Co., we disrupt this process by making it possible to use agricultural waste instead of trees. So we use the plant material that's normally thrown away or burned after food crops are harvested. And we use our patented technology to transform it into agrelose, the first MMC feedstock pulp made from 100% agricultural waste. Agrelose is sustainable and tree-free, but importantly, it's also the same quality and the same price as tree pulp, making it an easy choice and an easy substitute for brands and manufacturers. Now, we've had a busy year since we finished the accelerator program at Anderson. We have been primarily focused on R&D. You can see our CTO, Charles, here in the lab, focusing on getting our pulp, agrelose, to match wood pulp. And we're proud to share we hit those numbers a few months back. We're currently focused on our extrusion trial, so the process of taking the pulp through to fiber, so brands and manufacturers have something real to touch and feel and play around with. These trials have been supported by Patagonia, and we are currently in Fashion for Good, which is the premier program for materials innovators in the apparel space. We're developing a pilot within the FFG, Fashion for Good ecosystem, and those debut collections will be out in 2023. For context, this is the FFG ecosystem, so we'll be working with brands from within this ecosystem. Up next for us, we are opening a seed round in Q1 in January that will get our first commercial facility up and running and expand our capacity. So if you're interested in learning more about the seed round or learning more about the company, please reach out. Once again, I'm Taylor. We're the Herd Co. We make it possible to make clothes from agricultural waste. Thanks so much.
Hello, I'm Juan Banch, one of the founders of VTest, a COVID-19 rapid diagnostics device which provides accurate results within minutes. We're a spin-off project from Alcatera Inc., which is an Venture Accelerator alumni company from 2018. As you know, PCR COVID tests are slow, taking 24 to 48 hours or more with delays. They're expensive when not covered by insurance, like for traveling, and some procedures are rather uncomfortable. Our solution is a quick, affordable, and painless COVID-19 rapid diagnostic device. You self-test, obtaining results within 5 minutes. It's cheaper than the competitors. It's as simple as blowing air through a straw. And we have 1 patent pending to ensure we stay competitive. Clearly, we're making some bold claims, given the uncertainty COVID has left the world in. That's why we've already tested VTest Lab version 2.0 prototypes on patients in Italy. It's accurate, we match the PCR gold standard, and quickly approvable, because we qualify under EUA 510K, which is the FDA's emergency use authorization due to COVID-19. There have been over 2.8 billion tests worldwide since the start of the pandemic, with 1.5 million daily tests in the US alone, and it's expanding. At the start of October, the Biden administration announced a $1 billion investment into production of at-home COVID-19 tests. And this is widely applicable from transplantation, businesses, sports, and many other events. In Hawaii alone, there's a 54 million potential revenue pool, with 50% of Hawaii visitors. That means 2.7 million yearly tests, and with $10 devices and $5 pods, that yields 54 million in yearly revenue from Hawaii alone. And the competition? Well, we've certainly got a lot. This chart compares the current standard test with days post-infection against how well it works. And it shows the silent spread that arises from a quick antigen test versus the slow and cumbersome PCR. VTest is easier, faster, and cheaper by being different than PCR. We test for the virus directly, or part of it, rather than the internal RNA, which is not necessarily indicative of the presence of the virus. This also allows for multivariant detection, which the competition does not address. Additionally, beyond COVID-19, it can be expanded to flu viruses and others. Plus, this technology can simplify cancer detection through liquid biopsy, rather than a regular biopsy, which requires surgery. And how can we do this? Well, our most powerful innovation is the pioneering research done by Danielle, one of our co-founders, and our partners in Italy. A paper pre-published at the start of this October outlines the scientific breakthrough that enables our sensors, and which already has a patent pending. Our team has been working since the start of COVID in May 2020. I'm pursuing a bachelor's and master's from UCLA. I'm a key contributor at Alcatera and have hands-on experience with companies like Facebook, Accenture, and more. Richard is a multi-company founder with decades of experience. He has a PhD from the University of Wuppertal in electronics and applied physics, previously worked at Teledyne, and is of course the CEO of Alcatera. Danielle is the lead biologist and an associate professor at Mark Polytechnic, as well as an experienced researcher from the University of Italian Switzerland, Leuven, and La Sapienza. Now to the ask. We're asking for $5 million as an initial investment opportunity with a preferred investor background in pharma and or food. This will be used for product development and costs, as well as marketing and FDA approval. We're targeting 1 million COVID tests, starting in Hawaii, Serbia, and Italy, and expanding to more. And we expect to quadruple that to 20 million over 6 to 12 months. And that's it. Thank you for listening.
Great to see you, everybody. Anderson Accelerator. Love that school, and I'm forever grateful for what Trish and the Accelerator did for my career, launching a meal. Tony Bernardo coming on the academic advisory board for a meal. But what can tell you more about what we've done in the year of incorporation, raising from Kleiner Perkins, Owl Ventures, and SoftBank, and hiring 52 full-time employees is a video that speaks volumes about what we're creating. So I'm going to share this video with you guys right now, and excited to be able to show you what we've been able to accomplish over the last 12 months. Enjoy.
nerds actually pretty much run the show.
From now on, every time you read something, you're going to intuitively understand how the writer is doing what they're doing.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Not everybody has had the right teacher, but everybody has what it takes.
Oh.
With this course, I don't want to just teach you an algorithm that you will blindly enact. I want to provide a lens with which to view the universe. And if we can do that, the exam will be no problem.
The great thing about biology is that you actually start to realize that there is so much that you don't know.
One common misconception about financial literacy is that this is only reserved for the uber wealthy. But I'm here to tell you this is actually for everybody, and this is very, very easy to understand.
Everyone always says, I'm never going to use this math in real life, except you will. Algebra is the math you use in real life.
A misconception about acting is while you're acting, you're thinking about you. But what you really need to be thinking about is the other person talking to you.
We study the brain, we study evolution, we study behavior, we study consciousness. We study the point where all these things intersect. And if you're doing it right, you'll end up with more questions than you started with.
This class is an invitation for you to learn on your own terms,
Earn college credit, and even learn to think critically about the world around you.
That is a skill that will last you a lifetime.
So if you're ready to get started,
You can choose your membership and become an Emil member.
and become an Emil member,
And become an Emil member today.
Become a member today. Yeah.
I'm gonna see you in class. Don't be late, because I don't play that.
That's what we're doing at a meal. Really excited to be able to tell you more in person about our journey and vision. Thank you so much.